I would like to say something.
We have a problem. We have a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we have problems.
What's going on? Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate it. You guys are all family, whether or not you know me or you don't know me.
Do I know you?
Danger's my middle name.
So again, thank you guys so much for being here. I have 2 shout outs. First shout out is going to my boy Avi. Avi, just want to say thank you for yesterday. You texted me some things that was very encouraging.
Encouragement is
rare, very hard to find.
So pretty much what Avi was telling me, don't put on a mask, be yourself, and you will find your community that way. You'll find those who really appreciate you.
Be yourself.
Music.
Second shout out is gonna be to my boy Cole. Cole, I'm so sorry.
I am truly sorry.
Cole was here last night. We were in here for like 3 hours doing a podcast. I'm hella mad because the SIM card ended up breaking. So when he left, it was time to start editing and the SIM card just didn't work.
Oh my God, even though it broke, oh my God.
Like it broke, and when I looked at the SIM card, like a part of it chipped off. So I like to say things are meant to be, but
I mean, damn it! It never, ever goes our way.
I don't know what the fuck happened right there. So I'm so mad. So Cole, just want to say thank you so much for coming here yesterday and for, speaking your mind, even though I can't share it, but God bless you, brother. And I really hope that we can do it again. But this time I'll make sure the SIM card works, brother.
Promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Yeah, let's get straight to what I'm talking about. So 2025 already marked by tragedy as gun violence devastates New Year celebrations. Advocates urge lawmakers entering legislative sessions to pass stronger gun safety measures. On New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, more than 200 shootings resulted in 78 deaths and almost 200 gun violence injuries. As states prepare for legislative sessions across the country, gun safety advocates urge lawmakers to act with urgency to prevent future tragedies. As families and communities rang in the new year, 2025 began with familiar instances of tragedy as gun violence impacted celebrations across the country. According to the Gun Violence Archive, there were more than 200 shootings across the country on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Why can't we all just not get along?
In which a total of 78 people were killed and another 197 people were injured. Firearms are the leading cause of death for children and teens. While only a small portion of these make the news, each instance of gun violence devastates the community and has ripple effects beyond the initial shooting. So before I go to my next point, to me it doesn't make sense how all the states that have the most strictest gun laws have the most gun violence. And that's all I'm gonna say. It doesn't make sense.
Why are you whispering?
Just 2 days into 2025, our communities are already reeling from gun violence that will impact them for the rest of their lives, said Angela Farrell-Zabala, Executive Director of Moms Demand Action. We refuse to grow numb to the fact that holidays in America are too often marred by gun violence.
Things that make you go,
So moving on to the next tragedy that occurred on New Year's was the one that happened in New Orleans. So just want to say God bless them and my condolences to everybody who lost their loved ones, and rest in peace to all the souls that were lost. So an act of terrorism in New Orleans where at least 15 people were killed and another 35 were injured after a man drove a pickup truck into crowds in the French Quarter of New Orleans, ended in a shootout with police where the suspect was killed. And the suspect was supposedly Muslim and was fighting for ISIS. So who knows the truth? I just want to say if he was Muslim and he was killing in the name of Islam, I condemn all his actions.
Nevertheless,
You guys have to start thinking that there's a battle over the narrative right now. So I just feel like religions can get hijacked, and ISIS was created by secret forces. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say who, but ISIS is not an Islamic thing. I don't care what nobody says. Let me just say something right quick. This man and also the man responsible for the Tesla explosion, which I'm also going to cover right now, they were both Army personnel.
Coincidence? I think not.
So it doesn't make any sense to me how people who fought for their country are the ones committing these acts. They're just gonna disregard him being an army veteran and just automatically point the finger at all the Muslims.
It's a trap!
So yeah, that makes me really raise the eyebrow, is why are all these army veterans committing these acts of crime on American soil? Are they really being influenced by other forces such as ISIS? But it's really weird, and that's all I gotta say.
We are now taking a live look at Bourbon Street in New Orleans, where a man from Houston intentionally plowed a pickup truck into a crowd just hours into the new year. Investigators are calling the incident an act of terror. And officials say at least 14 people and the driver are dead. Dozens more were injured. Investigators believe the attack may have been inspired by ISIS. We caution some of the images you're about to see may be disturbing. Here's ABC's Lionel Moise.
This morning, the careful work of gathering evidence continues just over 24 hours after carnage on New Orleans' most famous street. New video shows the speed of the pickup truck that plowed into people, killing at least 15 and injuring many more.
We have dozens of people that got hit by this car.
Surveillance video shows the truck flying an ISIS flag coming down Canal Street around 3:15 a.m. before turning onto Bourbon and speeding into the crowd.
We ran one way, so like about 5 feet away from the curb, and we ran into the bar to be protected by the little divot.
Authorities identifying the suspect as 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S.-born citizen and Army veteran from Texas who they say was inspired by ISIS to kill. They say he was speeding down Bourbon wearing body armor and firing an AR-style rifle out of the truck, racing about 3 blocks before crashing, stepping out and opening fire again, wounding 2 police officers. Inside that rented Ford F-150, authorities say they found multiple homemade pipe bombs packed with nails. Sources tell ABC News on that flagpole is a black flag bearing the ISIS insignia.
World's gone crazy, Jim.
All right, so that's the end of that video. We're gonna stop watching now. We're gonna move on to our next topic. It's about what happened at Trump Tower in Las Vegas. So very suspect, because this man has been almost assassinated quite a few times. So I just don't really understand what the hell is going on, and especially with Elon Musk and Trump being homies, who would have ever known that it would be a Tesla almost taking out the president, you feel me? So it's really crazy. So let's get to that topic right now. All right, so here's the video right here. Let's get straight into it.
Yeah, Lester, according to 3 senior law enforcement officials briefed on this matter, they are investigating this as potential terrorism, and we have seen a massive presence from law enforcement that is secured off this Trump hotel property here off the Las Vegas Strip, and all this is coming as evidence mounts that this Tesla Cybertruck fire was very clearly not an accident. Growing questions tonight into this Tesla Cybertruck turned inferno just feet away from the Trump International Hotel. The stunning scene on the Vegas Strip, now the focus of a broad investigation. Law enforcement officials confirming the Cybertruck was rented from the same company as the vehicle used in the New Orleans attack.
How convenient is that? Wow.
Let me repeat that. Both of these vehicles that have been used in these crimes were both rented through the same application. I don't know if that is coincidental.
I think not.
That's pretty suspect. Some people are gonna be like, nah, that's normal, you know? People use that app all the time. But I can't get too much into it. There's so much like investigation. They said that this Tesla was driven, or was the pickup truck was driven all the way from Colorado. So it was rented in Colorado, drove all the way to Vegas, or the one driving all the way to New Orleans. I'm not sure which one it was, just to commit an act of crime. So that to me shows that this was premeditated. This was organized, you feel me? But people are just gonna be like, nah, it's ISIS, it's Muslims, because just so much Islamophobia going on right now. And I do want to say this, I swear to God, I'm not lying to you. Yesterday, I was discriminated while I was praying. There is a prayer area at the job that I work at, and this person discriminated me. This is not the first time I've been, you know, harassed for my religion, I swear to God, and I don't want to seem like I'm a victim.
I am a little disappointed.
But I usually let things, you know, just go by, and I just don't I try not to focus on all that hatred and all that racism. But this person, on everything I love, while I was praying, was saying that you're not human. Basically, she was telling me to leave. She said she didn't want me praying in the prayer area. I'm not even lying. Like, I can show y'all the report I made, and I ain't no snitch. I'm just trying to make some money, if you know what I mean.
Pay me my money.
But yeah, let's get straight into it.
We're absolutely investigating any connectivity to what happened in New Orleans, as well as other attacks that have been occurring around the world. We're not ruling anything out yet.
The blaze, called in around 8:40 this morning, appeared to erupt in seconds. Witnesses describing hearing a loud noise, followed by a smoky scene.
Fireworks,
We saw a lot of smoke through the windows.
Inside the vehicle, fire crews discovered an unidentified body. The burst of flames also wounding at least 7 bystanders before it was fully contained. Tesla founder Elon Musk posting, "The whole Tesla senior team is investigating this matter right now," adding, "We've never seen anything like this." Retired ATF agent Scott Sweeto says video evidence may be telling in the investigation.
You can see multiple large flashes, and you also hear whistling sounds in that video, and those whistling sounds are very consistent with the sort of fireworks that you could buy as a consumer and set off.
Tonight, the Trump Organization thanking law enforcement for their swift response as federal investigators dig in. Morgan Chesky, NBC News.
That shit don't make sense. Like, how in the hell are you gonna have a bomb, but at the same time have fireworks? It's like you trying to, I don't know. Maybe he's in the celebrating spirit, but to me, I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was Photoshop. That shit don't make no sense. A shooting near Jack London Square that left 1 dead and 3 wounded marked the end of a violent New Year's Eve in Oakland, which saw 2 other homicides earlier in the day and another just hours after the clock struck midnight. Meanwhile, San Francisco police made an immediate arrest after a fatal shooting by a gas station at 17th Street and Van Ness Avenue just 25 minutes after midnight on New Year's Day. When officers showed up to the Van Ness shooting, they found a man on the ground suffering from gunshot wounds. The San Francisco Police Department wrote in a news release, "The victim died at the scene," officials said. Honestly, like, I'm not saying this is normal in Oakland. There's people always getting shot up in Oakland, you feel me? So I'm not saying that this is nothing new. It's just very unfortunate. This is how we starting off the New Year's. The shooting by Jack London Square on the 200 block of 2nd Street happened just after 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve, according to news reports, and claimed the life of a 32-year-old Los Angeles man. The East Bay Times reports that a 22-year-old man from Fairfield, a 21-year-old from Newark, and a 25-year-old from Sacramento were wounded. In an email to the Standard, an Oakland Police Department spokesperson said officers found 1 victim at the scene. Dispatchers were notified about 3 others who took themselves to local emergency rooms. Unfortunately, one of the victims succumbed to their injuries and was pronounced dead at the hospital, the department spokesperson said. A few hours earlier, around 7 p.m., someone was stabbed to death in an unrelated incident on the 1900 block of 70th Avenue. Around 7 a.m., and yet another apparently unrelated case, a 32-year-old father from Richmond was fatally shot outside his job at an Oakland business. This is the one that kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. Like, let's watch the video.
Tonight, an East Bay family is grieving the death of a beloved father. The 32-year-old was gunned down as he was going to work on 14th Street this morning in Oakland. ABC 7 News anchor Dion Lim spoke with the victim's mother.
I feel sorry for the person who did it. I feel sorry for him because he has a praying mom. He has a mom that covers him in prayer.
It's that strength in prayer, holding loved ones of 32-year-old Willie Bernstein together after the father of 2 babies was gunned down walking into work just after 7 o'clock New Year's Eve morning.
He wasn't a statistic. He didn't come out here and stand on these corners. He went to work.
According to his family, Willie had worked at Autoclore, a commercial dishwashing supplier at 14th and Poplar for 2 years. We counted at least 26 shell casings littering the pavement outside. Relatives from Richmond who gathered at the scene remembered his life.
He was a light. Everybody loved him. Everybody loved him. Goofy, laugh a lot, trusted a lot.
And wondered who could have committed such a heinous act.
I have no idea.
Oakland police have released few details, but multiple sources tell me this appears to be a targeted attack and that the suspect vehicle fled the scene. Willie's mother pointed to security cameras in the area, determined they'll help lead to her son's killer.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it on national television. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord.
At a time when most are celebrating the beginning of a new year, Willie's family grieves and sends this message to the East Bay and beyond.
And I thank God I had him for 32 years. So you took my son, but you can't take his spirit. So I want the world to know this. Hug your babies. Cover them in prayer. Talk to your sons. Tell them the damage that they're doing to their own race. Stop.